morning, everyone. Welcome to our September edition technical business meeting. Very happy to have Nubia post us for this week's session. So I'll read through how the day will run. So it's as we previously done. I would have this session, which is welcoming all of you to this session, and then we would have the president will come up for introductory message. After that, we would have she would introduce the chairman. The chairman will then introduce the speaker. The speaker will then do this presentation, and then we will have a panel discussion that will be moderated by the chairman. He will then introduce the panelists. After that session, we will then dive into the Q&A discussion. That will be followed by sponsors remarks and presentation of this from NAPE. And then I'll come up with announcements and photographs by PE. We will then do that when we launch our networking session. I think I missed out one, which is our president's remarks. So all of that is part of what we will be going through this morning. So stay tuned and listen to the session. It promises to be very exciting and inspiring. Thank you, P. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our September Technical and Business Meeting. I welcome those who are here present physically and also those who are online. Thank you for making time out every month to participate in our sessions. And most importantly, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors of today. Because if you hadn't sponsored, this door wouldn't have been open for us, let alone on-time launch. Thank you very much. We appreciate you and we believe that you continue to partner with NAPE. So I want to especially thank our fellows who are here with us. They've been online since 11 o'clock. Our Adams awardee, past president of NAPE and fellow of NAPE, Dr. Emmanuel Eno. Thank you for joining us online. Please can we give him a round of applause. He's also the chairman of our AC, that's the AC of Advisory Council of NAPE. We also want to appreciate Mr. K.K. Kano, our fellow of NAPE. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us online. And our own Vice President of our association, thank you. He's also a fellow. Thank you for joining. In here physically, we have our immediate past president who graciously accepted to be the chairman for today's technical meeting, Dr. Abiodun Ogunjobi. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks to all our active members, our student members, NAPE members who have also joined this meeting here in this room and online. We appreciate you, and I want to also appreciate our president. He's not here physically with us because of some things he has to do in Port Harcourt, but thank God for technology. He's online with us here, so Mr. John Bosco, thank you for joining us, President. We appreciate you. And I believe that we will all have good time here today. This is a departure from the usual. sure you all agree with me. The topic we are hearing, listening to today is a departure from the usual. But if you look at that topic, you will know that it's something that is very necessary. So I want us to sit back, put our phone, away from us, listen attentively, and I believe that we will all gain one or two things from here today. Thank you very much once again. God bless you. I will at this point call our president to give us his opening speech so that we can move straight into the program. Thank you. Please, we'll do everything as fast as possible so that you can meet up with your board meeting. Thank you very much. So to his profile, Dr. Abiodun Ogunjobi F. NAPE, FNCA, is the Group Chief Technical Officer of Foundation New Cross Group, where he is responsible for the group's technical functions and development activities. With consistent career advancement and professional development, he advanced from the post of Geoscience Manager, where he was responsible for planning, coordinating, and implementing all asset development activities, to his current role as Group Chief Technical Officer. He has a strong background in exploration, production, reservoir management, and project planning. His expertise extends to new business development, joint venture oversight, and crisis management. Abiodun is a distinguished professional with a proven track record in steering oil and gas projects, driving growth, and optimizing operations across the value chain. His strategic leadership, technical expertise, and extensive experience making an asset in the energy industry. Over the years, he has collaborated with business executives on alternative crude evacuation strategies, provided flux leadership and driven requirements, conducted feasibility analysis, and performed business process analysis and design, and managed implementation and service delivery. As an author and co-author, he has contributed to technical discourse through publications in journals, and have been an erudite speaker and panelist in most conferences. He is a former registered geologist, a certified petroleum geologist, and an Aberdeen Business School graduate, a fellow of NAPE, a fellow of the Institute of Management Consultants, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Credit Administration, and an alumnus of the Aberdeen Business School. He is the immediate past president, fellow, and a member of the Advisory Council of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists, NAPE, the largest organization of geoscientists in Nigeria, and membership of other professional bodies. Join me as I welcome to the podium our chairman, Dr. Abiodun Ogunjobi. You'll be introducing us.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's glad to be here. And also, greetings to our fellows online and member of this great association. So today, in continuation of our knowledge sharing session, we always find ourselves that our identifiers oil and gas. So today's section is equally very, very important and critical. The topic that we have for discussion today is very important. The key said that is a definition from our core science topic, but this is something that can be doing. Individually, we do planning. But what we're going to discuss today is an holistic planning and place across all aspects of our operation. So, integrated planning is critical. It's a strategic approach to our industry, ensuring that all elements of our project are working aligned to achieve a common goal. What the topic of today is telling us is how to move from individual planning that you don't have this overrun, you have necessary project timeline overshoot, and it enables that all necessary stakeholders should be in the project are properly aligned. It enhances operational efficiency. This is one of our core values, really important to time and also safety. And that is what we are going to be having today. Thanks to MudoZangl, that will be taking us on integrated planning, breaking silos to build a profitable and experienced upstream industry. So today I will start by introducing a speaker. Our speaker for today is Aline Women. Is a current petroleum engineering and corporate planning domain expert at MudoZangl Limited, a global solutions firm that operates in the petroleum and financial sector. Aline is a seasoned ERP professional with over 34 years of experience spanning a wide range of ERP activities, including wells and reservoir management identification and maturation of development activities and detailed 3D reservoir simulation. Aline has managed and led the development, coordination, and execution of planning processes across various entities, including NAPE, SNG, LNG, Shared Gabon, and SPDC, where he retired after managing 4 different SPDC domestic gas supply projects with combined headline size of more than $2 billion. His experience in the upstream to midstream operations included managing domestic gas projects, ensuring effective project risk and value management, stakeholders engagement, budget performance, and efficient project execution. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you agree with me that our speaker for today is someone that is versatile when it comes to project planning and has equally led different projects himself. So somebody that is knowledgeable on what it takes to lead an integrated project execution strategy. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome Mr. Aline Women, the petroleum engineering and corporate planning domain expert of MudoZangl as our speaker for this month. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. This session is basically for us to explore how we can support the quality of business delivery and also the oil and gas sector so that we ensure that the effective and collaboration across functions and also basically develop objectives and also to demonstrate why the specific plan can also help to increase efficiencies in terms of inefficiency in terms of integration across functions. And I think most of those key benefits of integrated planning have been highlighted by the goals by the chairman, so which I'm glad to repeat. And I think I also encourage all of us while this session today, we go through all the key stars. We find that some of those key highlights, benefits of integration, are already summarized in those slides. So, what's the purpose here? Basically, business environment now is becoming very, very volatile. It's sense in terms of the volatility of business market. So the likes of the issues going on in the global center, the likes of the Russia-Ukraine war impacting the oil and gas business, the issues about the recognition of the Palestinian state by the UK. These are things that will tend to influence the business environment of the oil and gas sector. So you have the likes of development brand issues. So as you know that the oil and gas sector is primarily dependent on the source of the petroleum products. So these are the things that affect that. So for it to be very efficient and effective and profitable and efficient, you must be able to integrate your solutions to content. And the topic of today speaks about the result of making the science. So what do we mean by science? So the oil and gas sector based on the upstream. The silence refers to the likes of the sciences department, the petroleum department, the likes of the production operation, looking at commercial. So these are silent departments which have different groups. So that overall, the goal has to align to the bottom line of the entire organization. So when you talk about the scientists even will go to international companies. The scientists will also move from what we call the asset level. Now, we have some companies where you have multi-companies. So in other words, those multi-companies are also scientists. So for it to have that kind of achievement, you must be able to integrate and export output. Otherwise, you have situations where the planning is overwhelmed. So people are working across objectives. For instance, the production operations is focused more on production, while the commercial guys feel like it's commercial numbers. So you allow us to allow the government to do the work. So those are two of the necessities of this. And what is integrating this plan? The business plan itself is a concept in which you want to integrate across functions. Because all these techniques speak about petroleum engineering, production operations, materials, So, as I was saying, so integrated platform basically aligning plans across functions. You find that production operations is most of the instance have that plan in terms of delivery, where it can mention the statistics, discussions. And then that is really what really is focused on the user business. It has its plan. So the question is, do you have alignment across in terms of value addition to the organization? So this is where the integration comes from. And then in terms of why we are here today, I think I said something about that, which is the capacity in the environment and the business environment. The issues that most organizations do have when they look for the fact that you need to be able to optimize the results of companies and projects and also the era of digital digitalization and transformation. So you need to have a strategic plan where you understand that. So those are the foundations. So how can I have another than that? Realizing some of those challenges all the time in the oil and gas sector is that they develop a solution that will help you to connect all of these things to create an effective integration across all the platforms. So if you please let me go to the next slide. So look at this slide. Sorry, the previous slide. The previous slide. Yes. So if you look at this slide, this is when we talk about the business planning windows. You find generally in one organization you have 5 to 10 years from which you call strategic plan and that's plan. But it's from that plan you also begin to accept that you integrate your business plan and your business plan. And then from from your 5 year business plan, you can set your operational priority to your output. That is where you focus. And then from the operational priority, the 1 year plan, you have your corporate plan, which is driving the execution. So what we've noticed over time is that in many organizations, you find the first two roles there has a completely different priority than I have, which is exactly the corporate planning unit. And then the bottom part are those professionals, real time, 1 month planning, 2 year planning. And you find that over time, there's a disconnection from the top to the bottom part, which is very important execution. So the other one. So if there are changes down the line, your instance will not have impact. And then when organizations want to set their plan, that's where the whole organization goes to say, okay, let's look at the numbers again. But when you then have a platform where you feel that updates are reflected, you have one simple set of tools. So you know that the decision you're taking is the correct decision. So what we've done is to now look all these planning industry to one service automation, one single platform. So that from that single platform, everybody is connected to the organization across all the functions. So please let me go to the next slide. So what are those things that we found out in the whole over the course of our both my experience in the field and other platforms working? There are some key issues that we've noticed. The single source of truth, what we do, the simple source of truth is that when you have data and creating data from the well of the very person, I want to be sure that that data is correct to that data before I can use it in my focus or in the commercial business. So you want the case, not where I have the data sitting in my Excel file in my drawer, but I need an update. My colleague is not aware that there's an update. So we identified that. So I identified the entire solution as a that. So there's what we call flat sources. So what do we mean? I'll give an example. In operations, where the design facilities, we need a crew. So you find that if you are working in silos, the production operation that the person happens is good, really good. But at the same time, the engineering facility guy who's also like or something or this is what is also like it is a crew. But everything is fight for a crew. So now up to people. And first you have to say, would it have been possible for you to have this one just by aligning? So whether it was consistent, this was consistent. So we look at the issue of family intelligence and discourse, the various analysis, version control. One of our experiences here was that I was a point in time, the current leader of the NAPE had to tell us and show that when everybody is going to leave, we need to come up with all planning activities to stop. Because we had experience in doing that, we come back and do the other plan. Because somebody has said, don't want to update. No, data is true. What to do now? Go ahead, change the forecast, and then you come back with our group, and you cannot recognize that. So we can be very conclusive. Personal control wasn't there. Or even if it's there, it's not related. So you have those experiences. So you can create testing across units. An example is a case where you are bringing your ball, you are laying your flow line, the flow line is in the you also want to manage that. You don't want to dredge your location before the new comes in, because of safety. So you want to make sure that everything is tight, everything is aligned. So you want a piece where you complete your work, and the rig is still there, you move the rig, the engineering guys come in, hook up the rig, that thing is aligned. Otherwise, you have a case where your flow line is ready to the point of hook, but the rig is still there. So you have to utilize the flow line contractors for a couple of days. You need to organize the line. And you cannot stay in those places. So ensure that the flow line is there to stop them, nothing like that, a couple of days. So to achieve that, you need an integrated solution. And you also need a platform that is common to everybody to So the other one is the different finance software. So you find that in some departments, some units, you probably use Excel for that project. And then you find another unit using Microsoft Project. Another person using Power in the same organization. So how do you unite it? You require all that to make sense out of it. So those are some of those things I was thinking later. So we try to integrate all this into one complete solution and now develop what we call the tool, which has to do with initiation, formulation, consolidation, execution, and custom track. So basically, this is to take it from what 5 areas by C to the monthly plan. This is the one effect. So please let me go to the next slide. So what we design in this workflow is basically the initial phase. So you have the capacity to define a project, to run the economics of the project, and do the risk analysis, do the SWOT analysis, and run the economics. So the whole essence of this is in the same platform, you have all the activities that come with the business plan, but you need to have a gate. Because the start of the to move to the next phase. Together was to introduce what we call the multi-level approval structure. Something that has in front of you so that you have a single structure to talk. So when to make a project, something happens with that. You go through an approval unit for this particular user organization that has a meeting, and making that process with the data head and application head. So when that happens, you know that that data is reliable and system is system. So you can now run all your economics on all the projects during the phase. So now you select based on your selection criteria to give you the benefit. You select the best portfolio. So you can see how you can increase profitability, carbon efficiency utilizations, and other stuff. So on each phase, so when you now move from that phase of institution to formulation, so this formulation is now the project that move data match with your criteria. And sometimes not the economic decision, get people to make decisions for you and allow the program to move forward. So you don't get to the formulation phase. In the formulation phase is basically where you want to have additional information. You are not clear about this program, you want to do further breakdown of activities. So it's like this phase now, we now do the issue of resource allocation. So we are highly tackling there's what we call the equal resource allocation or material allocation to pick to create what we call the benefit to fund your business. And so the formulation basically is now just maturing those projects, taking it to a level where you can integrate them to business decisions. So the next phase is the consolidated plan. So where now you have all the plans across all the functions together. So you remember when we talk about the silos, now we move from that silo to integration. So now everybody's on the same single platform. So you like to integrate that plan. Then you have a collaborative platform where everybody sits, both across the people and agree. So that's how you balance the resources, resource allocation, schedule changes, impact, the dependencies, and establish like that. And then you can freeze your plan at that point in time. You will not freeze your plan. So what you have to avoid from the 4, 5, 10 years to freezing your plan for the year because you are one of the two. So at that point in time, you might find what we call the KPIs for the plan to drive execution. So that's what you see in the execution plan. Where you can track actions and also the tasks. So please let me go to the next slide. So next slide, please. So what we've done is so we said for everybody to be on the same platform, so you need to have a unified platform. And then you also want to have restrictions to content access to. So not that you have somebody has to have one and then access to the other. It's keeping roadways, so everybody works in. So, and you can see this graph here, with this chart here. The chart on the bottom shows the business planning overview, the number of activities by function, by silos, the performance silos. You see the number of activities, the monitor the execution, the delivery tracker. So when you move to that piece where you come to execution, you now see that we talk about things like long-term activity plan, short-term activity plan. So these are details. So these are executions. So this gives you an overview of the platform. So go to the next slide, please. So next slide. So I've spoken about the economics. So entry of the project has this economic value. And we've also defined the economic criteria to move to the next stage. So in the same single platform, we do an economic analysis. So at least you have a clear view of everything. The assumptions are consistent and proof, not ascertain execution and how it gives economic parameters, why it's computation for the same purpose. So we require that. So you can't do that if you have a unified platform. So if you go to the next slide, so you also have the opportunity to do analysis for each of these projects. So independently, all the sellers building the project, you define your internal aspect analysis, your SWOT analysis, and then you can also aggregate all that. So the corporate planners who usually will have not gone around struggle to complete everything. As the independent people do that, the system is bringing up for each of them. So now we can send these type of quality scenario analysis, these are many things that we're trying to put it together. So you have a dashboard that shows you the summary of that, both at this business planning level, both at the execution level, and also giving the auto tracking. So if you go to the next slide, this is also a continuation of the first slide. Please go to the next slide. So we're talking about to ensure that you have a single source of truth, which is why we desire to play the multi-level approval system, so that when department A sees a data, it gives it data. So we've had this while I was myself, when data are not approved, the presumptions are not approved. And then you come to the meeting and you say, well, what's the source of data? So I got it from there. You say, look, I can't recognize this number. And we put documentation that this thing was approved. So we now let the flex of things where are doing manual approval of the department. So that was as a corporate planner, which are one of those things we struggle with. So we build lines and people don't say, so they don't recognize it, but there's no evidence. So we have to now approval of presumptions. Forecasts have to be approved by the board. These are all done manually. So with this now, we know that every data has control. And along the line, when you want to make a change, you might have to make a change. But then whether that change has an impact on other decisions that are made. So there has to be change control. So there are not making this for the impact of the workers online. While you decide you make that change, but you don't know whether that's a disclosure impact on some other functions. So that has been identified in this case. So, and with this, again, you can also see the project activities that are approved, and you can also track where the status is, whether it's the level 1 approval, the second approval, or the third. And anyone that applies that goes back to the initiative of the project. So, you have to go to the next slide. So, the next slide. So, I've spoken about the sea resources, the time resources, and also material resources. So, material resources, for instance, we talk about the clients. So, those are the things we want. We're able to get them back. What sort of time resources we're talking about? Personnel, payments. So, the personal teams, the money of personal teams, and the other aspects. So, how comes those resources? So, which means when you are doing your plan, you already specify those specific resources you need. So, in other words, when you do that plan, sometimes you don't go to the logistic department, or I need a boat, I need to go to the field. So, it's all completely misaligned. Whereby you can improve efficiency, improve everything by aligning all that. So, considering the security, you need to have control and schedule logistic operations. So, you can do that from the business plan. But when you do the business plan, let's say you don't have the clear picture of what the resources are. Now that we are looking at the resources, and you bring it into the document, and then when you actually know the resources are not available, a consequential impact of the local health, you need to address it or take decisions whether you need to leave it. So let me go to the next slide. So I've just spoken about how the various silos will have different planning solutions. So that's all Excel, Microsoft, and things like that. So on this platform, I can build in all these plans. So we have four solutions. One is that you take directly to the solution. And the next one is either moving from Excel. The other one, so the purpose of this is to have a single platform where you can integrate across all the functional factors depending on where you operate. So let me go to the next slide. So the next slide basically shows the benefits of integrating approach. You have efficient use of resources. You have efficient use of funding. You also ensure that there's no disadvantage across both solutions. So you have the problem of solution. Some of the downside of this lack of integration is that you don't have efficient use of your resources. Or even your capacity to have those things. So as a friend, I plan cannot respond to these changes in the business market for those ideal issues. You don't know the impact of the plan. And I just think it's almost like a plan with the entire plan and before I get. But when you have an integrated solution, you also have a platform that brings everyone together and also do sort of things very quickly. So it improves your resilience to respond to changes in the business market. So let me go to the next slide. So one benefit of what we talk about in collaborative environment is all about business, about integrated planning. So now you have the business department all sitting together in one place. Now it's this type of execution phase. So there are certain conditions that will be in place before you do your work, for instance. So it's not only time. So at that point, that meeting, you're asking, so what's the status of this? And in this time, you can put in the comment. These are the issues and policy critical related to flow, investment, or something. And if you already have the planning structure where you go by weekly meeting or monthly meeting to review the plan. So you can have meeting every month with the data. If you say, okay, this information will be the plan that you like to see available, then it was the evidence based. That data was city something where the kind of plan. So even though you found your evidence to do, but the first evidence that is true. Whether you're doing everything is good, but you come to the point where you do your plan, you don't have the time to plan your work of business. Nothing. So, that collaborative environment can help you to have that information going back into it. And then the outcome that comes with it can track these actions. Because it's important because the experience has shown that when we give those people take action, but I'm not going to down the line with them, I want to always have to, who is supposed to take this action? Was not afford to anybody. You just say, okay, this action always comes to action of people. There has been somebody who has put in that person in the seat, So with this, you can put the get three directions. And that person will not insist after the start. It's good. So that's what are the essence. So it's a very powerful, because one of the ways to achieve best integrated planning is that collaborative environment where everyone is together, look at the solutions together, do your work, and agree, and choose the data. So let me go to the next slide. So this is where I talk about the action tracker. So each person that was assigned to that collaborative environment where everyone was attacked and added, you can say your project, you can track it yourself, and then the people plan can have it holistically before the instructions. And then all these actions are going to provide the evidence where it is on the ground. And then they also will have what we call the knowledge base, where you can actually put all the available documents or process all your decisions. That is accessible to everybody. So let me go to the next slide. So these are examples of the resource allocation that I talked about, both time allocation and material allocation. So if you look at the red bar, the one over the time allocation, this shows that you are requesting more resources that is available. So the question is, so what do you need to do? Do you want to move your request or you want to add additional, you can take some decisions. And those decisions can be taken at high level. So people will see it. And then in terms of material resources, so if somebody has requested for you have there's what we call the corporate resource balance account where you know what you have. So you pick all your money. So you can give all the last few years over request or under request. So you do that to manage that. So and let me go to the next slide. So that might be my last slide. So based on we have looked at what successfully for the business planning, life cycle planning to execution mode. So now you set your KPI for the entire operational plan of the year. So you can also track that in real time. So based on monthly meeting and weekly meeting or quarterly meeting, all those topics are reflected in real time. So the consequence, so the leadership often can see where there is something. And then the person asks is what are the things? Do we just put our hands or do we do something? How can we do it? It's important. So when we look at the to do all these things. So in summary, we can take out from the last time. So integration. What are the key benefits of integration? One is effective utilization of resources. Profitability in terms of ensuring that you don't have cost overrun. So cost overrun is the case where you plan and then there is a line that you are supposed to come back to and then the cost time. So improve efficiency. And in terms of resilience, so you find that you can respond to any possibility of any issues in real time. So I think this is basically being more of a takeaway from the usual opportunity. So thank you, and I appreciate that you were able to listen to us.
Thank you very much, speaker, for that excellent presentation. You can kindly come up. So we are now at the panel session phase. So I'll introduce our panelists. And we have Mr. Oladipo Ashafa. Thank you for coming. Please, Chairman, he's not feeling too well. But because initially someone from their office came to tell me that he won't be able to come, I just saw him now. So he said he will manage. Thank you. It's the love you have for that thing that still makes you show up. Thank you very much. So Oladipo is a seasoned energy management executive with nearly 2 decades of experience spanning upstream and midstream operations across Africa, Europe, and North America. He currently serves as the Vice President of Operations and Asset Management at Chapel Energies, where he leads strategic initiatives to optimize performance and drive sustainable growth. Prior to joining Chapel Energies, Dipo had held several water roles at Shell, including asset development as subsurface manager for Shell Petroleum Development Company, Western and Shallow Water Assets, overseeing production of about 100,000 barrels of oil per day and about 100 million scopes of gas across 20 fields. His global experience includes leadership positions in the league, where he served as strategic business advisor, global digital business opportunity manager, and planning and performance manager for Shell Nigeria Deepwater. Dipo began his career as a reservoir engineer in Oklahoma and has since held technical and leadership roles at Mobil Producing Nigeria and First Exploration and Petroleum Development Company. He's an alumnus of the University of Oklahoma, University holding degrees in petroleum engineering. With a track record of delivering results through innovation, collaboration, and deep technical insight, Dipo brings a global perspective and strategic vision to the energy conversation. He's an active member of the Society of Petroleum Engineers and has recently been appointed to the SPE International Business and Leadership Forum and the SPE African Technical Committee. This is join me to invite the board. Thank you very much. And next is Faith, who is, I think she's now the second female panelist this year. Please give her a round of applause. So Faith is an international business development expert who started a background from the Department of Petroleum Resources with 18 years of experience in the oil and gas corporate administration. She has positioned over 12 energy servicing companies in Nigeria. In 2020, she founded Gold Energy, a leading oil and gas exploration and engineering service company with international presence. She has BSc in Public Administration from the University of Lagos, an MBA in International Business, Western University, USA, certified business executive who has led her team on several projects in geosciences and asset management services across the Niger Delta Basin. She's passionate about sustainability practices and actively practices partnership with international NGOs and the Nigerian government. Can you please join me to welcome Faith to the program? So, you might agree with me that even with the CVs, the profiles of all the speakers today, you see that we have a very strong team on this panel. Let's listen to them as we discuss, and we'll move later into question and answer. Thank you.
We have applied a discount of our activities on other dependencies. So what is better at when I will try to summarize the representation, but in a dynamic and volatile oil and gas industry like ours, where sometimes we make real-time decisions, it is important for us to have an holistic view of the impact of our decisions on other dependencies. I think that is what the presenter is trying to do this program. So I will just try to give an overview of the thoughts and allow my erudite panelists to give their own perspective on the importance of integrated planning and how we can bring all of this together. So it is important that we do that. Then secondly, we talk about integrated planning cycle. Every organization, we have our long term, we do mid term, we also do short term. So what the presenter has done today is to also let us know that those plans, we can also cascade them down to daily objectives. So we move from long term to mid term to short term to a monthly deliverables, weekly deliverables, and also daily deliverables. So in the integrated planning cycle, we will be able to achieve cascading down to a daily deliverable to meet the overall long-term objective. Then, under the integrated landscape, we talk about the integrated landscape. There is a corporate KPI, where we can also have management adjustment and planning premises. So what is the presenter trying to explain to us is under each of these columns, there are key deliverables. Whether it's single source of truth, that is a contact at the beginning of the project, at the initialization stage, the data across must be available and be able to speak to the goals of that project. Then we move to integrated workflow. This is where the core of the job starts. From the initiation process to the formulation stage, to the consolidation stage, to the execution stage and action plan. And each of these have their own dependencies, and it can be easily monitored across the various strategies. So what the presenter tries to do here is that under this integrated planning model, we should be able to cascade KPI to every functional unit and individual in the business so that everybody is on the same page. Then it talks about the unified planning platform. This is a platform where everyone sees what is going on across the value chain. Then it talks about project economy. We do that often. We run our risk, and we also conduct our SWOT analysis. But all of this can be done on the same platform where everybody has an overview of the entire project. Then we also speak on multi-level approval system. And the good thing about this is that sometimes project execution approvals might have been given and for one dependency to move forward, but sometimes you don't know until you ask. It happens very well until you ask. But when you are on the same platform, where multi-level approvals are given, the moment that approval is issued, it's known to everybody. So the time gap for you to be something for approval is very limited. Then we talk about shared resources, personnel, materials. The essence of all of this is that you don't overload your project with unnecessary resources and you don't underload. So by optimizing your resource allocation, you'll be able to execute your project on time. Then it talks about aggregation of plans. You can bring your project plans from Microsoft Project or any other platform that you are using into this platform. Evidence-based collaboration window is important for us stakeholders to have a view of the project. Then we talk about the action tracker and the resource tracker. Now, these are good for decision making. So when there are action items and resource items, the respective individuals that are concerned will be able to do this effectively. So, and lastly, it showed us a scorecard. I think that is very important for the executive and the leadership to be able to view and make an informed decision. So you see that this is not totally different or definition for what we are doing. It is all about bringing everything together under a single platform to reduce time, reduce cost, and increase our operational efficiency. So I will first of all allow my panelists to give their own perspective on the strategic importance of integrated planning in our AI. So let me start with Victor. So what do you think the strategic importance of adopting an integrated planning? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to the NAPE community for inviting me to participate in this panel. In terms of the role of integrated planning, most organizations operate in a functional role. And I've seen very few operate in an asset-based role where there's one chief and everybody is inside that same role. Most of the time, it's you have a CFO, you have a chief design engineer, you have your project director down. And what tends to happen is, if you leave each function to plan for each function, you won't find the integration, you find the project are unrealistic, you find the interdependencies are not known, and quite often when you get to the point of delivery and you stretch the KPIs, you find that they're all red. So in my view, you can't get away without having an integrated planning organization. I feel it's you, it's for the community, but it's also a resource. You need data that speaks to everything. Mr. Bello has shown, you need systems that can organize that data across. And those systems need to be able to flag for data accuracy or inaccuracies. I need to be able to flag the performance because performance and flagging are brother and sister. We are partly saying that you can't get around. There's no organization that has a strategy and ambition plan that they want to deliver that doesn't have an integrated planning output. It won't work. Okay.
Thank you very much. Hey, round of applause for me. So the key message is that we need to move away from functional planning to an integrated plan. Now, for that to be achieved, it talks about something, having the right set of data. So, the speaker also talk about single truth. So, you need to have the right set of data. And what I'm also stating here is that most of the time, we focus more on structured data, which is good. Which is good, most of our decision projects are based on structured data. But don't forget that there are some unstructured data that are also impact on your project delivery. Take for instance, taking your regulatory approvals. These are outside of our control, these are unstructured data, but you need to find them. Your community FTOs, they are unstructured data, but they have impact on your operation. So, what you say is that we need to get all the basic the information, how we integrate both structured and unstructured data for us to have a project, a successful project. So let me go to phase. So let's get your perspective on this integration of the plan.
Okay, thank you very much, Michael, and thank you, Nati, for what we are doing. When we talk about integrated planning, we begin to understand that it's more like a holistic approach. We can run our day-to-day activities, whether as a provisioning, oil and gas provisioning company, or even a service company. I like the part you mentioned and look at the external factors, which has to do with the regulation. We all know about the proposed PLA amendments. When that comes to fruition, it is going to affect most of our activities. So when we talk about integrated planning, we consider regulatory framework and policies which will be impacted along with our plan. And also we look at human capital, our choice of manpower, our choice of workforce, the skills and their competency. On the long run, which will affect our sustainability strategy and how we want to deliver on our jobs. So when we look at risk assessment, when it comes to oil and gas business in the upstream, we have so many unforeseen risks, ranging from hazard to human error and other unforeseen risks. So we begin to find ways to shift this risk, either to shift it into insurance or to have maybe local or international contractual agreement to manage this risk. We also look at technology and data. What kind of technology, what kind of data are we using? We have new technologies now, the AI-driven filters and automation that can help us process our data, manage errors, and also protect our information. We have some of the analysis both in Java and other parts of the MudoZangl using this AI automation to release all the results. And again, we begin to look at capital investment. Finance is a major tool when it comes to oil and gas business. When we look into financial aspects of our business, we understand that we have to have a proper framework towards financial sustainability and its impact, both long and short-term impact in our organization. So those are the major factors that can really impact or promote our integrated plan the upstream sector.
Thank you. So the tools are aligned talk about human resources, we talk about data, and it's about integration. You know, one thing that we always try to achieve in our A&P business, or among things that we always try to achieve in our A&P business, is to avoid cost overrun and schedules overrun. Cost overrun and schedule overrun. And we can only do it when we have a proper integration of all our activities to avoid duplication. Right? To avoid duplication so that we have synergy across the board. And I know I'm going to ask the speaker to speak. One of the best of functional growth system is that most of the time we make decisions, make tactics for the benefit of our function, but it is detrimental to other departments. But when we are in an integrated system, decision making will be such that we will not only be beneficial to non-functional, but also in many to be beneficial to other positive. So let me ask Ali, what do you think are the best other things of non-integrated? Let's talk about the first cases which again I just feel what you said. One thing by Christopher. So we get the target innovation. So the another point is when we're talking about integration, we also need to move beyond structured data, which is not only what is the structured data on the very important. And if you remember all of those slides that shows the readiness, the innovation platform, that is where the structured data comes from. So where you provide evidence of what's the readiness. So and all those structured data that permits readiness of permit, you have an MVP case, is the location ready, drive location permit, you have right of way. All those things which are structured, your security plan, community engagement strategy, and the other is not structured, they are required. That is the collective. So the solving integration translates into profitability, it translates into the resilience of your plan so that you can respond to the market environment. It allows you to be cost efficient, and also proper utilization of resources. Thank you. So I think at this point we will go to the floor. I'm also online for Q&A. So let's just raise your hand, introduce yourself, your affiliations, and you ask the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nobel, for excellent presentation. I think you did justice to something integrated planning. My question is, how does integrated planning help the organization or industry to insulate itself or better handle geopolitical shocks and market volatility? I had a simple question on the interoperability of the platform. I think the chairman said that it can actually bring in existing plans for other project management software. So, thank you very much. Thanks for that question. So, in terms of how you respond to the volatility of the business environment, is the fact that we saw the fact that can respond. So, for instance, the issues with the global security, there's the short-term production thing, the production of price. So, you want to respond, you want to tweak your thing because you want policies to ensure what happens. So, So how do you optimize to ensure that you stay satisfied with your work? So this is where integrated planning comes in. You're able to go to switch it and respond. So it increases the resilience for you. So that's the first question. But the second question is how to integrate other existing things. So I give an example. So if in your science or in your video design, you still have to plan things, create a plan. So you can solve it because you want to integrate with other people. And this is where you can have one platform that can build and whatever plan that plan is. Maybe it's in the telephone, maybe it's in the Microsoft form, or it's in another form. Or if you don't have it, you can also do it on the system there. So that you have all these different things. Everyone is on the same platform, speaking the same thing, and then you integrate and happen. So that's it. So you can still stay in the solution. But when it comes to that platform, that collaborating, building, commitment, that's building. The whole lot. Thank you. Next question.
Thank you very much. My name is Anthony Mafonda. Sorry I didn't start with you guys when you started this presentation. When you say integrated plan, is the tool you have for this? Do you have a software for it, or you're just talking generally about integrated plan?
Basically, you have a demonstration. The benefit of integration. One thing that I should say, because integration, there is no way to integrate.
Okay, so it's not like you have a tool.
So it's very easy to do.
Okay, you have a solution platform. Fine, that's what I want to know. So, you guys have a solution platform that one can latch onto. It is paid for, right? Okay. Thank you. My name is Michael Cody. Very interesting. Someone mentioned something about AI. You have AI, you have an AI, you can build all kind of AI system on one platform.
So those are basically our key steps. So the platform distribution is in its form. So let's say we talk to your video structure to evidence-based. So you not know this information into the knowledge base. So by the time our system is CI generated maintenance. So because you don't want to use AI to move data from somewhere, you want to use it to your organization. So that database can be used in your AI analysis. In terms of you know the downside of your plan, you know the issues when you bring it up to very familiar with the system. So with the repeated planning cycle, we're able to reflect and tweak it. So we start with our key steps.
Sorry, just to protect the integrated platform, is it cloud-based or
it's cloud-based?
Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon,
Marshall, thank you for recognizing the recipe of the class. Okay, so my name is Julius Adeso. I work for Newport Financial. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the detailed workflow on integrated plan. So, I would like you to clarify on data privacy and control. Yeah, this is a solution, right? So, I'd like you to speak to that. And then, good enough, this solution has also demonstrated effective communication among two people, right? And there's someone mentioned about human capital. So, being a solution, how do you come in to ensure all of the team members are familiar with this solution end to end? And then lastly, what is your take about organizational culture when it comes to integrated plan using your solution? Thank you.
Thanks. That's good. So the first question has to do with talking about the security. So there are two approaches to it. So when the solution is deployed to your organization, you can decide to use it within the organization where you take full responsibility for the security. Then the second one is the AWS where it's Amazon based. So we believe that the security is sufficient. And one of the tools where we deploy it to is generated direct inside resulting to test the resilience of it, the confirm it is stable, secured. So my multi guys are now here to try and expand further on that. Okay. So the second one, the last one, we talk about the organizational readiness. So for it to be successful, so the leadership, the executive leadership is non-negotiable to support the solution. So it is the time to really achieve that. And then the culture itself, because in an organization where you don't have a structured planning process, so you either have to change out that system or develop a workflow for them, otherwise it will fail. So you need a structured system, a structured plan. And when we want to deploy, we go to come to the organization, do the starting of the organization, identify the key players, and propose to them. So the second question, sorry, human capital. Okay, good. So now the solution is role-based. So for instance, the production operations guy doesn't have to see what the engineering guy is doing in terms of putting it data. So you come to the platform, you see this page. You put it in data, so you can train you, understand. So you don't see a complex platform, you see a simple platform. There is an integration there. The corporate plan is what sees the entire story. So even though I'm not cooperating for you, the operation guy is there, but you see the integration. You understand? That collaboration is the questions are very hard. Your contribution to certain activities, that's how it happens. So in other words, it's structured so that you're not overwhelmed by the solution. You want to see what the business is putting there with the commercial guys. So that's how it works.
Any other questions? Any questions online?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take this, then we'll check if we have questions online.
Good afternoon. Thank you for that presentation. My name is Coach Kutuka. My first question is asking about the AI material-based solution. My next question will be again concerning the business plan. How to let's assume that we're not at one time on the facility and allocated resources and funds and the previous scope should be phrased. What are you seeing here? Maybe if I have a tool when we have already freezed our budget and resources, and then these are organizations that are running the budget and in this case, when we need the accident record, like the down, where we find accident records from, it's not part of the scope, but we're already clear our scope. How do you manage this situation in the typical plan? So there are two elements. Thank you for that question. There are two strategies we usually deploy. So that activity that will come to you can bring that particular new activity, you can bring it into the plan. So what we those are the things we call the emergent activities. So you bring it into the plan and integrate it to the existing plan you have. So when you do that, you also see the impact of that plan incident. It's whether there's a consequential impact on the delivery of that traffic activity. For instance, you want to embark on shutdown operations. You plan that the shutdown will happen in the week's time with some instance, particularly your plan. It happens. So now you are able to ask yourself, should we still maintain that schedule of the shutdown or do we adjust? So the day now you're balancing progression, balancing costs and balancing schedule. So you have that flexibility. So those are the things when you integrate, you can respond. You are resilient to changes.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any questions online? Okay, let's start.
Okay, we have two questions. The first one is from Ibrahim Umar. The question is, one of the panelists talk about PIA. So how best integration planning, most especially between the academia and industry, looking at the oil and gas mining industry needs with respect to integrated planning?
I think it was Fraser talking about you want to take that?
So when we look at that PLA amendment spoke about, it's a common factor. When you run your pixel analysis, you actual contextual analysis, we learn how to incorporate those unforeseen changes that have a lot to do with regulatory compliance and policies. Whether you're working in the industry as an academia or an engineer or whatever you are offering in the industry, you should look through the PIA and understand the adjustments and how you can come.
Thank you. Can we have the second one, please?
Yes, from Sam Sudin Alabi. Thank you, finally. This is my second time joining the webinar on independent planning. Thank you, MudoZangl, once again for going through this ride. It has become a norm in project executions in Nigeria to experience execution time lag due to poor integrated planning. How can we make profit-oriented organizations believe in integrated planning and transition gradually from conventional function planning? Case study, even the best ERPs, some organizations are yet to latch on.
Thanks, let me make an attempt on that. So, integrated planning is not that the persons will not make their plans. So, but what we are saying is that you make a plan, but you be able to integrate across. So, you will achieve a common objective. So, your objectives, your goals are aligned. So, because when you allow them to operate in that silos, they only see that space. They don't see the big picture, the overall picture of the organization, so that there is alignment. So, the functional planning will go on, but with the knowledge that the interface, you have a relationship with other functions, with other systems, so you're not standing there.
So, how do you want to make people? I think in the culture of I've heard that in this question. I think the first is two has to be set from the top. So the organization says in 5 years, I want to be a $5 billion company. I want to have production at X. Now, you can then start to translate it into different functional things. Right? So if you want to have 10,000 barrels of production, petroleum engineers will figure out to get out the geologists will figure out where it's in, the production engineers will figure out how to get it out of the ground, the drilling engineers will come into the piece. So everyone has a function, but it comes from that tool that's first. And that's where the integrated planner comes in to look at all the activities and say first, is it aligned with the company's ambition? And we used to have this thing which stress test. Is it a credible plan? Is it an affordable plan? Is it a competitive plan? So when you stress, is it a credible plan? They say you want to drill 15 wells in 2 weeks. You test whether it's credible or not. Is it affordable? If all you have is $300 in your account and you want to drill those 10 wells, it's not affordable. And then if you want to drill those wells, and your invoices come one well onshore cost $4 billion, you know it's not competitive because you benchmark it at home. So I think the value of the functional organizations is that we match them to the Thank you very much. Great nations are not remembered for the promises they made, but for the standards they chose to live by. Ladies and gentlemen, the question before us is simple. What standard will Nigeria choose? Nigeria is a land of tremendous promise. Everywhere you look, you see resilience, creativity, and determination. And yet, we all know the frustration of roads that crack, power that fails, and chances that slip away. But here's the truth. Nigeria is not broken beyond repair. Nigeria is simply waiting for us, the people, to rise to the occasion. You see, a nation is not defined by its borders or its anthem. It is defined by its people, by the standards we choose to accept or reject. When we choose integrity, we lift Nigeria. When we choose excellence, we strengthen her. And when we unite with purpose, nothing can stop our rise. We already have proof of this and what is possible. Across the world, Nigerians are thriving. Professors at top universities, CEOs of global firms, leaders in medicine, engineering, and technology. This tells us something simple but powerful. We do not lack talent, we do not lack courage, we do not lack brilliance. So here's the controversial question. If we excel abroad, why do we stumble at home? The difference is not in our DNA, it is in our standards. It is in our willingness to cut corners and to eagerly compromise. Ladies and gentlemen, a great nation can never be built by accepting mediocrity. It is built on demanding excellence from ourselves and demanding accountability from each other. Because a nation's strength is not built on laws or speeches. It is built on satisfying the pride debts we owe to one another, debts of integrity, debts of accountability, debts of excellence, debts many of us don't even realize we owe. And here's the truth. Laws may guide a nation, but it is people who make it rise. Elsewhere, excellence is the rule. Here, mediocrity is excused, but that story can change. And it begins with us. The need for change is most urgent in our oil and gas sector, the very backbone of our economy. Consider this. It costs Nigeria about $30 to live a barrel of oil. Saudi Arabia does the same thing for around 10. That gap is not just a statistic. It is the difference between being competitive and being left behind. Every inefficiency in our sector hides in the gaps between one team and another, between one system and the next, between what we plan and what we execute. Every gap creates loss, and integration is how we close it. Integration is the difference between reaction and foresight, between scrambling and leading. The inefficiencies we tolerate are not small mistakes, they are silent taxes on our future. We cannot outproduce waste, we must eliminate it. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth is simple. Technology is not optional, it is survival. Because technology is not just about computers or screens. It is the force that sharpens our operations. It is the fire that burns away waste. It is the light that brings clarity and transparency. And it is the mirror that forces accountability at every level. This is not about keeping up, it is about stepping up. You see, true resilience is not about working hard. It is about building systems that bend without breaking, that adapt instantly when markets shift, when a well underperforms, when supply chains falter. That kind of resilience is not born of chance, it is created. It lives where strategy, operations, and finance move as one. Aligned in real time, united by a single source of truth. And that alignment, that integrated planning we so urgently need, can only be achieved through technology. Without it, volatility wins. With it, resilience becomes our strength, our shield, our advantage. And make no mistake, we cannot outproduce inefficiency. Every duplicated effort, every delayed approval, every disconnected forecast adds silent costs in each and every ground. Thus, the only execution excellence can eliminate. When decisions move seamlessly from the boardroom to our oil fields, profitability stops being an aspiration, it becomes the default. And let us be clear, the future of this industry and of Nigeria will not be written by those who claim to waste and obscurity. It will be written by those who demand clarity, by those who embrace efficiency, by those who insist on transparency and accountability in every operation, and above all, by those with the wisdom to integrate technology into their operations. Now, it is an afterthought, but it's the foundation of resilience and growth. Because when excellence becomes our standard, we will just transform an industry, we will redefine a nation. My brothers and sisters, let me be blunt. The future of Nigeria will not be decided by policies in the budget. It will be decided by our boardrooms, our offices, our data rooms, and our airfields. In the standard, we either choose to accept or reject. If Nigerians abroad can surpass global excellence, then Nigerians at home cannot settle for less. And it begins with us in this room. So I implore you, don't ask when Nigeria will change, ask how we can be part of it. Because Nigeria's brighter future will not come by chance. It begins now with these three promises you must make here today. Firstly, integrity must be powered by data. Every number must be accurate. Every fact verifiable. Integrity is meaningless without trusted data to anchor it. Secondly, transparency must be gained through connected operations. Let's break the silos. Let technology unite strategy and execution, so we all see the same truth and move with one singular purpose as we speak. And finally, our resilience must be built through agility. Do not rely on effort alone, but harness technology to build systems that adapt as fast as the world changes. When markets shift, when laws underperform, or supply chains falter, let technology give you the agility to respond instantly without losing direction. True resilience is not about working harder, it is about being ready for anything. These three, integrity, transparency, resilience, they are not just ideals. They are the foundations of the Nigerian we must build. And if you hold to them, if you make these promises your practice, then the result is certain. A nation where trust is restored, where decisions are swift, where challenges are met with strength, and where the future we dream of is no longer postponed, but finally begins today. Because when Nigerians refuse to settle, when we demand integrity in our data, transparency in our operations, and resilience in our systems, we won't just change the sector, we won't just change our nation, we will change the world. We are too many, too gifted, too relentless to remain invisible. So let us demand the best of our colleagues, of our companies, of our leaders, and most importantly of ourselves. Because the question is not if Nigeria could rise. The question is whether we will rise to meet her potential. So let us refuse to manage, refuse to steal, refuse to excuse mediocrity. For the day Nigerians decide that good enough is no longer good enough, that is the day the world will no longer ask if we can rise. It will ask how far we intend to go. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. So, yes, so one PM is coming up. Let me just appreciate our number of people here. Thank you for your interest in NAPE. We appreciate you every time. And I like us to appreciate them again because without them today, the requested books, exhibition books, and conference. So they will be exhibiting this year. You can see whenever people are exhibiting at you can see, it's if they don't really love this exhibition and associate with us, that would be it. Thank you very much for your interest in our presentation. Thank you. So we will continue with the announcement. Okay, so we have range of information that I want to pass across to you. The first one is on physical business meeting, this time I think from Abuja. So we're going all the way to Abuja for with our young professional mentoring and training session. Okay, so it's 3 week training session with facilitators and topics. And split there. Now on our conference, we have the icebreaker essay challenge that is still ongoing. It's expected to end on the 30th of September. So if you're interested, you still have some time to send in your essay. Election is still going on. We have for the office of Vice President, the President, Dr. Wilson Osborne, NAPE, Mr. Emmanuel Ebele, and Mr. Timothy Aminata. For the office of President-elect, we have Dr. Anthony Afuma, FNP, FNGS. And then Mr. Afumi Fatumi for the office of University Assistance Program Chairman. Still conference. We are now in the phase of registering using IIC. So the details is as listed on the flyer. Still take advantage of it because the next phase will be even higher, that will be on-site registration. Short courses is out. Registration for our short courses, which is coming up November 8 to 9, is ongoing. So if you are interested in participating, the fee for registration is as listed on the flyer. You can please reference it and then register for the short course you're interested in. The next one is the upcoming golf tournament. So we are going to Uyo for this. We plan to be live in Uyo as we have it displayed on the screen. So I think registration of interest is also ongoing for that. Please refer to the messages that we have sent out and the reminder that we keep sending out if you are interested in going to Uyo for this event. Okay, so this is not all actually. You will be seeing more information with regards to what is coming up and when as part of the conference. Opening ceremony, you get some information on that. Pre-conference workshop, all of that is built up, and when we are ready, we will send you the information, the detailed information on that. I think that's it. Please, as a NAPE member, you are expected to pay your dues to participate in most of these to see things that we have in offer, election and all of that. So please pay your registration fee and renew your fees and then not only all of these exciting opportunities that we have in offer. So thank you everyone. I'll hand over to PE for our closing remarks. Thank you very much, PS. So now we're gradually getting to the end of the technical business session. So thank you very much once again for making time out to attend our meeting today. The thanks goes to people in this room and those who joined online. We appreciate your consistency, Since the beginning of the year, you've been participating, and I believe that you must have learned one or two things. So it is not over yet. We still have one more for this year, and that's next month, October. You will see the announcement. And the sponsor for that is Paradise. So I look forward to having you all again at the meeting in October before we now move into the main thing for the year, which is our annual conference coming in November. Thank you very much. Stay back and enjoy the lunch. The PS will tell you more about the lunch. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, for our lunch, we have 2 serving points. Oh, okay, we have 3 serving points. Salad is for the expo and their sponsors and vendors. And then the other one on the left and right for every other person. So please do not continue to enjoy yourself and keep the network going. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Faith Iroham. I'm the managing director and also the founder of Gov Energy. We are into oil and gas exploration and engineering services in Nigeria.
So, from what you see today, how can breaking silos in planning directly affect Nigeria's upstream stability and excellence?
So, good enough. I was one of the panelists today, and I mentioned a lot of factors surrounding building resilience in the Nigerian oil and gas upstream sector. It ranges from the external factors, which has a lot to do with government regulation, and also the internal, with the organization, how we are able to build our capital investment, build a human capacity, also manage our risk, and promote our data and technologies for our operations. So I think when we integrate all these factors, it will really boost and enhance our operations in the upstream sector. I'm done.
So, are you familiar with Nubia?
Nubia?
Yeah, it's a solution provided by MudoZangl.
No, I don't know.
So, second question, that's it. What would you say will be the biggest challenges for organizations looking to adopt integrated planning, and how can they overcome it?
Okay, so the major challenge is surrounding that organizations faces when it comes to integrated planning. I would say number one is finance, being able to access finance. Sometimes we have this financial capacities and we have financial investors, but sometimes meeting the requirements to access this finance could pose a major barrier to accessing finance. And the second one is human capital. In Nigeria, we are really an industrial country and we are resilient, but we have to focus more in building our capacity when it comes to skills and practicing more of our expertise. So human capital, finance, risk assessment, and also external factors, which has to do with regulation. When these factors are considered, we'll be able to manage and mitigate the challenges we have in integrated planning. Thank you.
Or it's one at a time. Let's take it slow.
All right, that's good. So, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can we meet you? Introduction.
Okay. My name is Olisa Mudo. I am with MudoZangl, and I'm the CFO of MudoZangl.
So, what do you think makes Nubia different from other digital solutions in the industry at the moment? What is the biggest selling point?
Okay, well, I think there's a few different ones, right? I think there are two key selling points. The first one is our hybrid intelligence model, which marries both. No, don't worry. No problem. Yeah, okay, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
What do you think makes Nubia different from other digital solutions in the industry at the moment?
Okay,
What is the biggest selling point also?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think there are two primary things, right? The first one is our hybrid intelligence model, which marries both domain expertise as well as technology. So with MudoZangl and our Nubia platform, when you are working with us, right, you aren't just getting software off the shelf thrown at you. We take our time to assess each and every client before we deploy our solution, and we also determine if it's an appropriate solution for the client after having in-depth conversations. After having in-depth conversations with them to understand their problems, their needs, and where they need us to focus. In addition to that, they also get a domain expert who is a subject matter expert with almost 20 to 30 plus years of experience within the subject matter at hand. And I think the combination of these two allows the solution to be a fully robust solution that evolves with the client as the client grows and their problems also evolve. So it's not just a one-off, one-off solution or software that is thrown at them. They have to, integrate it within their business model, and it's almost like putting a square into a circle hole, right? So with us, it's almost fitting like a glove, a bespoke solution. And that's one of the things that we take our time to make sure that we assess properly with each and every client how we deploy these solutions. Yeah? If you want, we can maybe move down there. I don't know if that's easier, or how do you want to do it? Oh, because of the background. Okay, no problem. It's all right. What we can do is, yeah.
Okay, second question.
Yeah, go ahead.
For companies still working in silos, what is the one reason they should switch to integrated planning? One reason you can give?
Well, I think, like I said in my speech, I think right now technology is no longer optional, right? It's not an option anymore. It's about survival. If we're going to compete at that global and national or global level, we have to really do things differently. We can't keep doing the same old things, expecting different results. And like I've also mentioned, oil and gas is the backbone of our economy. We need our operators to perform efficiently to enable growth in the sector and enable growth in the country, quite frankly. So I think this is more of a national concern, more so than just an aspect of profitability for shareholders, but more of a national and also a global concern too for us, and representing Nigerian operators. So I think it's something that it needs to happen, because at the end of the day, in this day and age where working in silos is just simply a thing of the past. I mean, you have AI these days and predictive large language models that are going crazy with the things they can do. So for us to be working in silos using tools like Excel, working manually, filtering through unstructured data, is just a thing of the past. So I think we need to get with the times and stay ahead of the curve in order to be able to grow as a company or as an industry, and then of course grow as a nation. Yeah.
So what does collaboration between MudoZangl and NAPE mean for professionals in the oil sector?
I mean, I think the collaboration is an interesting one. NAPE is a very renowned organization here, especially within the oil and gas industry. We believe that this type of partnership can only bear fruit, right? I believe that for the professionals in it will be a chance for networking opportunities amongst both MudoZangl as well as NAPE members. And of course, that type of network, that type of collaboration is also what we preach here at MudoZangl. The ability to collaborate with people, not just people, but technology, different software, different platforms, share ideas. And it's through that incubation of sharing ideas in which we can born innovation. So I think that collaboration is going to be the breeding ground for us to strike up new innovative solutions for complex problems that come up in the industry. Yeah.
So what should we be expecting from MudoZangl and Nubia? What next? Is there anything in the pipeline?
I think there's a few different things. The main one is our financial operations solution, right? Our financial operations solution, I think, is going to be groundbreaking once it's finally launched. It's supposed to launch this end of this quarter, as well as our Ubuntu Scope 3 emission solution. I think just in a nutshell, what we're doing I'll just give you a bit of a sneak peek with Ubuntu. It is going to be an emissions exchange platform for us to finally have a way to track people's Scope 3 emissions, actually Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 emissions, and allow people to exchange emissions data through an integrated platform. So something like that is going to be one of its kind, and we're extremely excited to launch that. I believe that's something that is going to shock the market, quite frankly, and disrupt the way of people, the way people currently understand how they do things, right? So I believe that on its own is going to be groundbreaking. And in the FinOps model, we're going to revolutionize how financial modeling is done within the finance space and the corporate finance sector. So that is something that we're very, very excited about. And both of those solutions are innovative and forward-looking as a whole. So those two. Thank you so much. Brilliant.
So I look straight into the camera.
Yes. What do you think makes Nubia different from other digital solutions in the industry at the moment? Okay. And what are the biggest selling points?
Okay. So I think the unique thing about the Nubia solution is the fact that you have what we call the multiple approval levels, so which is not common to most other solutions. So here you have a single sort of truth where everything is role-based. So the approval is the unique selling point here. And also the fact that the collaboration platform is in such a way that you have everybody on the same platform looking at the same data, the same source, and also you have these elements of where you can track what we call the unstructured data. So where you collaborate is evidence-based in the sense that when you claim certainty is done, you provide that data, and that data is stored somewhere, so which you can also access. And in the future, with the advent of AI, you also have the AI capability that is still work in progress to implement this.
All right, so second question is, for companies still working in silos, what's one reason they should switch to integrated planning?
So for the companies who are still working in silos, there's a recent studies by McKinsey which shows that you can increase your profitability by almost between 10 to 20% by integrations. And you can also, it also makes sense. When you don't integrate plan, you are not efficient. You are not efficient with your capital utilization. You are not efficient with your resource utilization. You also have misalignment across deliveries. So those are the issues. And that study being carried out demonstrates and encourages that you have to move away from your silos arrangement to integrated solution so that you can benefit that increase in terms of profitability of between 10 to 20%, depending on how organized your institutions are.
What does this collaboration between MudoZangl and NAPE mean for professionals in the oil sector?
So absolutely, this is excellent because it now creates a forum where you can share knowledge across, expand in terms of marketing of the solution, letting the organizations know that with the volatile environment we are in, organization, that you need integrated solutions, integrated planning to ensure that you can benefit from profitability, increase your productions and resilience.
Will you be expecting more from MudoZangl and Nubia?
Absolutely. So we have lots of solutions in our platform. We talk about the carbon management, you have the financial model, you also have what we call the ESG. So these are some of the solutions that we have on our platform that is actually relevant to ensure profitability in the oil and gas sectors. So those are some of those high-level stuff. So we have lots to offer NAPE as we go along.
Right. From what you have seen today, how can breaking silos in planning directly impact Nigeria's upstream profitability and resilience?
Oh, thank you very much. Based on the presentation at NAPE's September technical meeting today, which was sponsored by your company, breaking silos, what I believe will happen, it will help the companies, industry, the oil and gas to be efficient, more efficient, and it will also help in managing funds because proper planning will enable you see where the gaps are, what you need to take out of your planning and what you need to do better. But if you don't plan, you might end up spending money where you shouldn't put the funds. So if you have integrated planning, just as it was presented today, you will ensure that you do things right, and at the end of the day, you'll be able to reduce your cost per barrel to, if possible, single digits.
What would you say is the biggest challenge for organizations looking to adopt integrated planning, and how can they overcome it?
Okay, so everything starts from the top, from top management. In a year, you have your goal setting, you have what the target for the year is. So if the plan is well cascaded downwards, the management team will be able to work with it and plan properly. So what will be the major challenge is if the culture in the company is not what it should be. So people are not adapting to change. People are not adapting to working, together, collaborating and working together as a team. So that could be a major challenge. So the culture of the company is very critical.
Last question. Based on the solutions UBI is presenting, which do you think will have the biggest impact on your organization?
Integrated work, by the time we work together By the time the company works together as a team, you work together as a team, it will be the biggest game changer, all the different disciplines, because you, you can't work in silos. A geoscientist cannot say, I've interpreted finished my interpretation and will not get involved in the well planning. The well planner will have to know what, after production, he needs to know what the production is like. So everybody needs to work together. The finance team will make payments. So the biggest game changer is if everybody comes together and see that the work is not done or success is not achieved unless we work together to get to the end goal, which is to deliver the company's objective. I don't know.
Okay, we're going 3, 2, 1. Can we meet you, sir? Your name
Yes, my name is Dr. Salafa Ibrahim, and I work for MudoZangl as their financial expert.
First question, sir. What do you think makes Nubia different from other digital solutions in the industry at the moment? And what are the biggest selling points?
Yes, as you have heard from the presentation, Nubia is a little more comprehensive than most of the tools that are out there. And essentially, it was built from ground up by professionals that have many years of experience in the oil industry. So it was actually tuned to address some of the problems that the energy industries have.
What is the biggest selling point? That's what the biggest selling point is.
The total cost is much more lower than many of the tools out there. If you are to put all your planning together in one place, and over the time, you will see that the profit that you earn at the end of the day will be much more than what it cost you in the beginning. I think I would like to repeat that.
For companies still working in silos, what is one reason they should switch to integrated planning?
Yeah, one important thing is the margin. The margin in the industry is narrowing, and they really want to capture more of the profit of their operation. I will advise that they switch to our tool, the Nubia tool. It will essentially help them to the profitability.
What is the collaboration? What does the collaboration between MudoZangl and NAPE mean for professional engineers?
Yeah, collaboration between the two organizations. I think we'll start this thing already. Just too much noise. And I'm confused too. So.
Let me ask again.
Okay, can we start again?
Yes. What does the collaboration between MudoZangl?
No. Okay, you want to piece it together later
yes.
and see which one is good, which one is not?
Yes.
Okay, so.
What does the collaboration between MudoZangl and NAPE means for professionals in the oil sector? Have you answered that already?
I was mumbling.
Okay, let's take it.
I'm mumbling most almost.
What does the collaboration between MudoZangl and NAPE means for professionals in the oil sector?
Yeah, this is the new era where everything should be driven by technology. And what MudoZangl provides in form of Nubia, which is an integrated environment, will be helpful for the industry as a whole. So I believe that, collaborating with NAPE will help members know that this tool exists.
Last question, sir. Should you be expecting more from MudoZangl and Nubia?
Yes, this is a good start for a continuous business deal. We believe that, yes, it will continue.
Thank you so much.
I think we should mumble through most of them.
Thank you so much.
Bro, still to our mic about pariwo.
We go in 3, 2,
My name is Ini Olua. I work with DigiConnect. I am currently an intern at their industry.
Hope you enjoyed today's session. Were there any major highlights for the event for you?
Yeah, I loved the presentation on integrated planning. It was very enlightening and it showed how much we can move forward in basic aspects like planning properly.
From today's session, what stood out to you as the biggest advantage of integrated planning compared to working in silos?
Compared to,
Working in silos.
I would say the benefit of not having to make decisions that will affect other departments in an organization. Be able to make decisions that everybody will be aware of and nobody will have to be receded because of one or two mistakes that have been made in the company.
Okay, so thank you so much. Based on all you've heard today, are there any key insights as it relates to Nubia? Are you familiar with Nubia?
No.
Okay, I think that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We go in 3, 2, 1, action.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manuela Olatunji. I am a geoscientist affiliated with Olabisi Onabanjo University. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hope we enjoyed today's session. Were there any major highlights of the event for you?
Yes, I particularly enjoyed today's session. Part of it was the training on integrated planning, and it helped me realize that it's not just in the oil industry. There are some other aspects of it. Even in personnel, it teaches you how to be a proper team member and bring people up to speed on what you do, so you don't have to stay isolated but work together, put things out there, communicate and work as a team. So yeah, I enjoyed today's session.
Thank you. So from today's session, what stood out to you as the biggest advantage of integrated planning compared to working in silos?
Like I said earlier, working in silos helps breaks departments and does not allow information to flow from departments, inter-departments. But putting integrated planning upfront helps communication to pass across a company, so that people are not working independent of one another. Communication is not being limited to a particular department, but everybody works together as a team to achieve the company's overall goal. So yeah, it's an important part, and I'm glad it was spoken about today. People can go back and implement it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. See?
Hello.
Hi.
I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, I did.
Were there any major highlights of the event?
Yes, there was. If there's something I took home from.
One, action.
Hi, I hope you enjoyed the session.
Hello, yes, I did enjoy the session.
Were there any major highlights of the event for you?
Yes, there was a major highlight. The speaker spoke about involving the Nobia integration planning system for an holistic overview for whoever is in the industry, whoever is the stakeholder in the industry, the petroleum industry, so that they can manage their cost overruns, they can achieve their goals, like their yearly goal at the end of the day, so that they can effectively achieve those targets for themselves. And I think in a nutshell, it was just an introduction of technology. Like we are in the AI is moving seriously, and the petroleum industry cannot afford to lag behind. They need to jump on that call. And the man was trying to preach a model to them, a model they can adopt in their day-to-day performance, in their day-to-day activity. And I did, even though I'm partially not into petroleum industry, I also got that model, and I would also like to adopt it in whatever industry I am. Thank you.
Okay. Did today's conversation challenge your understanding of the Nubia integrated solution?
Yes, it did. Because from what everybody said and from the Q&A session, people had a model that they were working with. But this one is trying to say, oh, if you say you want to work on you are using an individualistic model, so to say, I can't give a name to it now. But the speaker is talking about what of some things, often things you are not even taking cognizance of. And this Nobia integration model is an holistic model that takes care of what you cannot even figure if you are planning a project in the petroleum industry. So I really did enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Hi, I hope you enjoyed the session.
I really did, thank you.
Were there any major highlights for you during the meeting?
The major highlight I had was from the speaker, Mr. Malim. Mr. Alim, when he was speaking about from the top down approach to planning, the fact that you can actually, from the manager, direct to the people that are doing the daily tasks, from the yearly to the monthly to the daily, it gives a structure and an overview of what you are doing. The ability to transmit information directly without any delay or overrun and cost in a very cost-effective way to achieve the company's goal and targets. I think this is a wonderful thing. Every reasonable or how would I put it, a very smart company should put into play. That's my idea of everything today. Thank you very much.
Did today's conversation challenge your understanding of the Nubia integrated planning solution?
Yes, I was not aware of this before. And to be frank, I'm glad I'm here today. I had a very wonderful time learning. It's not every time you walk into a boardroom or a conference that you get to learn. I learned a lot today. The fact that there's a platform that is even AI driven, that you can work seamlessly to be able to achieve goals from the boardroom to the field and again to be able to manage unforeseen circumstances like regulatories and policies. These are things that you cannot manage, but it's a platform that gives room for you to be able to even mitigate that without much stress and makes it very seamless and very effective. That's what I would say about that. Thank you very much. Okay.